nobody even had a commercial real estate calculator until mine was brought up. Now everybody's got one, but it's a major thing that they are all missing. It's this keyword called understanding commercial real estate, how things really fit together and how things don't. And that means knowing what the lies are from what the truth is. And you want to get into apartments, then retail, and then go from there. But everybody else can advertise multifamily, which is a retarded scenario number one. We advertise multifamily and everything. That means single families, duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes, everything under 5 units is multifamily. That is the dumbest real estate plan on the planet Earth. It's so dumb, they don't even know what they're talking about. They all think it's commercial real estate. Well, multifamily is not, because it's all based off of comparable sales and how much is the value per unit. This is retarded level, beyond first grade stupid. That means no matter how much you do to the property, how you fill it up, or whatever way you change it laterally or horizontally, or however you fix it or convert it, it's still based off other basically residential buildings, residential homes in the area, and you cannot double or quadruple your money. Apartments and real commercial real estate, 5 units and up, that goes off of income capitalization, the income approach. Basically, your net operating income, the cap rate, and all these things. And that allows you to double, quadruple the value of the property from filling it up from 50% to 100% occupancy and moving things around dynamically and changing it, and maybe changing the function and making it worth more, and doubling, triple your money and quadruple your money in a quick amount of time, quick, short period of time. These other people don't get it because they're so dumb. They're just stuck in the textbook like, oh, I read the book, I know how to do it, and I have a t-shirt, I'm going to make a seminar, and I'm going to make a webinar, and I'm going to mass market. Completely clueless. And they all say multifamily because none of them have a clue of what makes real money. And the ones that do have commercial real estate calculator is just your general info that says, oh, your price is this, and your tenant income is this, and you're going to make X baby percent a year this, which is retarded level 25, because my commercial real estate calculator, it tells you how much cash out you're getting, where some of theirs says cash on cash and IRR and all these other things, and that don't matter because you're coming up with money. And you're doing they're doing syndications, JV, or coming up with down payments and buying it at the wrong price. And if you got to come up with money on a property, you're already at a deficit because you're already at a cash flow negative. So all their information is wrong, and the tenants list the tenant income and all that stuff, and they're trying to say, oh, that's your commercial real estate calculator. My calculator tells you how much cash you're getting back, what the real value is and should be, based off of key factors that make real value, not what everybody else says real value is. Their real value and my real value is two different things. And I'm giving people 100% private money and closing deals with them and getting them in the property in 1 week. Not 90 days, not 120 days where everything goes wrong and you have no power. You have power and control and more money than normal when you can close in a week and you know what you're doing when everybody else in the market doesn't even know what they're doing. So when I'm teaching secret things or hidden things in the marketplace and things that really matter, it's about knowing more than what the other person knows. And it's simple because you look across the commercial real estate market industry of all these people trying to teach things that are not really, they're not anything other than general information that everybody can get off the internet. That's not teaching you anything. And they're not the top 1% or 5%, well, really 3% of the mortgage elite, commercial real estate elite that own everything. They're the ones feeding the people all the properties because they're coming up with down payments. They're buying at terrible rates. They don't know what's good. And they're going off of, like I said in the other videos about stock market percentages of profit and return on investment and all that kind of stuff, and internal rate of return and all that, interest rate of return, and all these cash on cash, and this, we're making a whole 10% or 20% on our investment a year. These are poverty numbers. When you're talking about drug dealer level margins of profit on a person that knows what's going on and what's doing, we're talking about double and triple the value of the property and quadrupling the value of the property in the same year. Not this long-term perpetual baby profit of like, 10% return or 15% return. If you advertise 20% return, you'll have so many emails of investors having a heart attack to try and get their hands on secured investment that is 20% return. Well, that's 20% return on net, not gross, and overall it doesn't even add up to be that, but they have a heart attack on that. 15% have a heart attack on. But in commercial real estate, if you're not making exponential profits of double or quadruple your money in the first year or two, you don't know what you're doing, and you're just feeding the system, the matrix. You have to know what you're doing to make the maximum amount of money. And the people in commercial real estate that can maneuver and see how it's dynamic and change things, alter things, and do lateral conversions and horizontal conversions and change and manipulate the properties, not only for the function and the output of it, and change the value of it, is how you're going to make the most money. And if you're buying properties at 100% owner occupancy, that's another misconception and problem on top of that. And I'll go into that in my training on every level, where everybody else on here is just giving you general information that's not going to add up to the big money. And if you're making scrawny 8% return, 20% return, that's considered a good return on your investment on your properties over the years. You're at such a barely profitable margin at any normal economic setback or any area in the economy of where that is around the individual property. You have ways to lose a lot of money in large increments and be set back for a big amount of money. Because if it's the apartment, or you got a drug dealer in the area, or something that just happens to set off that area, or the economy in general, or lending slows down, or whatever factor affects that one area, your competition gets better, and you only going off your small baby percentage of profit. You have no money to renovate or change things or get more money out of the rents and do all these things, where I'm teaching you how to get all the money and purchase at 100% LTV and keep market rents below average market value while you're doubling or quadrupling the value of the property, where all these people are buying at 100% LTV, 100% occupancy at market rate or higher, and with their down payments, and they're being limited on cash flow, and they have no knowledge about how to really transform a property to increase the income on multiple levels and make it worth double or quadruple the money, because they're still stuck on this general info and what is considered good and how things are really done. And then they think they're smart by saying, oh, well, I'm going to show you what industry or what markets to buy in. It's the best market in this area or this area. I'm going to give you the 3 key places to buy an apartment. That's called retarded number 2500, because in any major city over 1 million plus, I'm going to teach you where and how to buy anywhere in the area that you live in. You don't have to go clear across the nation, do all this stuff to find it. And also, there's secrets about how to get into the apartments and markets first, and like which properties, how to get them before anybody else. Their idea of that is going through a realtor, which is another dumb level. Realtors, there's really actually no benefit of a realtor on any level for any property, be it industrial, apartment, retail, single families, whatever. Realtors play no key factor in benefit at all. And if anything, they kill transactions and they cause people to lose deals and not sell things fast as you would without one. So that is another fallacy of what they think works. All these things that they do and teach are just like going to business school with a bunch of flunked business teachers, failed business teachers that aren't teaching anything but what basically general nerd brainwash is. And you're supposed to buy all that and pay them to learn how things really work. When reality is the people in commercial real estate with the really big money are nowhere around to be making videos or doing anything or even be seen because they have plenty of money and they're doing so well they don't need anybody else learning it and doing what they're doing because they're running the whole game. They're running the whole industry, the whole market. And all these people that got to mass advertise and teach general information is because they have to get the general dumb people that don't know any better. Now, if you really want to put your money where you're really going to get the maximum amount of return and learn the most information, you will come to me and learn how to close deals in 1 week. Learn how the lies on top of lies on top of lies are just layered into the matrix of commercial real estate, and learn how to do things fast and what makes money and what doesn't, and how to do it quickly, and how to double and quadruple the value of the property, not making baby money, and not being flooded with information that you're going to have to undo later, or just have that information stuck in your mind and cause you to not make any real money and go broke later on. So it's very critical, and time is of the essence, that you learn the right thing versus you spending all your time learning the wrong thing, get burnt out, go broke, and not making any money. So really, it's about what you want to get out of it, because everybody else is teaching you either how to wholesale, which there's no money in it, how to set up a syndicate, which you don't need, and investors, JV, down payments, or borrowing from your mom, all adds up to you have to look over your shoulder and pay out all these people and do all these things. My profit calculator has a whole thing on investor payout and how much each investor pays and how much they'll get and how much you'll get. But it isn't needed because we're doing 100% private money, which nobody has, and closing in 1 week. But for the sake of the argument, I have it on the calculator so a person could see how bad it would affect them if they did have investors. But you're not going to want to go and get investors for all the reasons, because like I said before, it's such a bad model that so many of them have to keep buying more and more properties and getting funded with new investors, and new investors is a giant Ponzi scheme in order to pay out the back investors, because they're not making the profit they were told, and the profit even for the supposed primary person buying the property didn't get the profit that he added up, and then he's in a deficit, and it has to keep trickling over to the next one, and they keep making baby returns less than what they were even promised. So you keep going into deficit. Now, you want to get into the real money and learn how to do the underwriting and know all the lies and the truth, and find out every single thing you need to know, and know what's good and what's not and what's important, and how to close deals fast on a 2-minute phone call, assessing it, everything, and then be able to close the whole thing in a week. Nobody teaches that. Nobody shows anybody how to do that and how to make things make a lot of money. Instead, they're advertising, oh, we have a secret. Get into our boutique hotels. Hotels is retarded. That's like worse than anything on the market, because you can do that way later on. But if you're wanting to get an apartment and multiply that times every night, times 30 days, times a year, you're having to manage everybody and mass market just to get one person in there every single night. And it's the worst. I mean, apartments, you got 1 year terms, maybe if you're smart, 2 year terms. But when you could have retail where you got like 7 to 20 to 50 year leases, and it's set it up right, and then you don't have to do it. That's passive real estate investing. That's long-term success with limited amount of time and effort out of your pocket. Once you learn the real system, then you can do all these things and not worry about it. But hotel management in the very beginning is a whole degree and a whole background on its own, managing the managers on top of what a normal apartment management and all that kind of stuff is. And a normal apartment manager doesn't know what they're doing because they don't know what they're looking for in the right tenants and how to set things up. And that's another problem, which I teach you all that too. So you want to get on the right path that makes money, and from somebody who knows how to make the maximum amount of profit with the least effort and the least amount of resistance, that's going to get you into the elite level instead of just get you in. Like anybody could go buy a car and say, oh, I manifested buying a car. No, you didn't. You got ripped off. You got financed to death, and you got terrible price on the car. You got terrible financing. You got terrible insurance. You got terrible everything on the car. Where commercial real estate is the exact same thing. Now, speaking of cars, by the way, I teach people how to do auto hacking and get into cars everybody can buy. I mean, there's a sweet spot around $20,000, $30,000 where you can make $10,000, $15,000 per car in a week, and start out at cheap cars and make $2,000, $3,000, maybe $4,000 per car, or go on up to the exotic cars and make money on that. And another key thing on that is if you have multiple cars, you got low mileage and you're not putting any miles on them anyways because you got tons of cars, and you want to learn how to do motorcycles as well. If you're that type of person, like speed and fun and all that kind of stuff, or just cars, you're going to make a lot of money. But if you don't know the inside information, you're going to be on the outside always getting ripped off. So cars is a prime example of worse. What worse is commercial real estate. So cars are a prime example you can understand, but you have to learn the whole thing so you can know what's going on. So if you're wanting to get in and learn every detail and not get stuck with the wrong things like hotels, developments, which take 2 years at minimum to pay out, or buying land, or land brokering, or wholesaling, or all these other scenarios that are totally crazy, you want to get your information from the right person. So give me a call and I'll give you information. If you want, we'll start on this. Now, I have private money at 100% LTV that no one has. We close deals in a week. Or you want to start out with your business and get up to $1 million with good hardcore credit, which is no money down, no money out of your pocket. Unless you're a loser and you got a bad credit, or you're like below a 700, yeah, it's $1,000 retainer up front. Oh, shock. Oh, heaven forbid I'm a scammer, because some losers say, oh, he charges $1,000, he's a liar. No, I said corporate money is 700 and above. If you got below that and you're an entitled liberal retard, yeah, it's $1,000 because you're a retard, and you're going to call my phone all day long every day because you're an idiot, and you're not going to listen to me when I say you got to get 5 open accounts of $5,000 or more, and one of them has to be a car, and I give you the list, and then you're going to drag it out for 5 years because you're too stupid to listen, and then you're going to be bitching, oh, I paid $1,000. Well, yeah, I charged you $1,000. I told you that because you're calling me all the time, and you have not a 700 score. You didn't want to hear the fact that I said come back when you have a 700 and you're ready for funding and it's no money down. You don't want to hear that. So that's why I said it's $1,000 retainer, because I'm going to look at your credit and tell you exactly what you got to do, how to do it, It's your fault if you don't want to listen to it. So out of all my clients, I got 1% of total loser idiots that just will not quit, stop calling. So yeah, I'm going to charge them because they're retarded. But if you're a smart person, hey, we talk and you understand, you value my time and respect what I'm offering and saying, I won't charge you nothing because you're smart. But of course, credit repair, yeah, you got to pay for credit repair. I got to put in time, a lot of effort, and it costs me more money and time to do that than I charge. But that gives me a surety that I know it's going to get done, and I'll get you into funding and get you on other levels. So basically, as long as you're a smart, business-minded person and you have understanding and you're not twisted and retarded in the brain like the 1% that I have that does call and crybabies and stuff, the complete entitled liberal thinks the government owes them a lifetime and everybody owes them everything, when they just can't understand that everybody's got to be responsible for their own thing. So if you're unlike that person, which most of you aren't, then we'll get along great and you can go as far as you want to go. So this is the training I have, and I have an advanced training that goes to renovations on how to change properties. And you could go down any street in America and renovate the front end, do any businesses, and they will spend money to do the parking lot, the fronts, the roofs, and the lighting, the signage, all these things to update all these businesses because nobody's doing it. Nobody does all in one thing. Nobody even does that. And I'm going to teach you how all these things fit together and how you can buy the properties or renovate them and make money on them. And all your businesses that have these skylights in them, from Walmarts to a lot of retails to some older offices and things that have all the skylights in there, I teach you how to fix those because they all leak. Every one of them leaks. I would say almost every single one of them leak. And not only that, you can fix that just to get in and learn how to make an easy 100,000, make it a win-win, and or do the whole roof, which is $1 million roof normally, or 800,000 if it's a hotel or motel that's not so big, and get in that. And also, yeah, buying hotels and motel is for later on, or skipping it, because I want to teach you how to go to apartments, to retail, and then after you have enough portfolio of that, we go into the mixed commercial real estate and development and all that. And I teach you how to do development as you get into the retail and renovate your own apartments and your own tenants and things in your retail malls, and how to build in there and how to get cash out every single time and close deals in a week and get things done, and know the cost of things and know how things work and know how to make money fast and easy. Nobody else teaches that because they don't have any idea, but they just have the general idea, the concept, but they don't have any real knowledge, and they have never sold a company that does this to anybody because they haven't done it enough. But anyhow, if you're willing to put in the effort and you want to learn the right information and make bank, I have the best training, the best videos, and one-on-one training. But some other people say they got one-on-one training. Well, what training is it if you're teaching them one-on-one how to do syndicates and JV investors and down payments? That's not really training. That's a big deal. Anybody could say that. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, anyhow, I can teach you all their stuff times 10 and more because they're such first grade. It's incredible. Anyhow, I just had to say that. So if you're interested and you're aggressive and you like to make money and make large margins on commercial real estate, this would be the place to be. And if you know what you're doing, you'll make a ton of money and you'll be able to keep going and going. But it takes a person that has the desire and wants to make the money and aggressive and can determine the differences between other programs, and like they are able to make quick decisions and smart, because getting rich does take some risks, but calculated risks makes a lot of money. And even if you failed on 10 things, the 11th thing is going to make you super rich. But you can't be so paranoid and so dumb that you don't even try. I mean, you could go try out everybody else's commercial real estate training. I mean, I don't know how many people have tried so many other ones. Every single one of them, hands down, always say mine's the best by far. And then I keep them for, well, as many years as I've got them. I mean, I've got the same clients from the very beginning and still keep doing them. One thing I hear out of clients is after I've had them a long time on, especially corporate money, is that they have to take a break because they have too much and they want to slow down and can't handle what they have. So that's the biggest thing. So I keep the same clients from beginning to the end. And if you want to start out with credit repair, I could prove myself on credit repair, or you want to start out with commercial real estate, which includes a credit repair, not that it's needed, we can do that. And it comes with the auto hacking. Or you want to start out with, you have good credit, 700 above, we'll start out with the corporate money and go from there. Now, 700 gets you funding, gets you set up. And then when I get your score up to 730, then we go into the corporate credit. But you can't get into corporate credit unless you're at the 730. But I could get you funding, get the corp set up and everything lined up for the corporate money and get on track to keep going with that. So that's that. And I'm upfront about everything and I'm clear about everything. So there's no confusion, and I'm not trying to trick anybody, and I'm not hiding, and I'm not disappearing, and I've had the same everything. Well, people say they've been doing it for 20 years. I've definitely been doing it since, 99. So that's 25 years, 26 years. And I got emails that go all the way back. I mean, I could prove all this stuff. And I got the proof of funding, and got all the proof of credit repair, everything. So proof of funding is businesscredit2millionaire.com. Proof of credit repair is creditrepair2millionaire.com. My phone number, everything's the same. Yeah. So there it is, like that. If you're interested, you can give me a call at my office at 312-473-4163 or WhatsApp or my cell phone. Some idiot said, oh, he's got a WhatsApp number. Yeah, because you can text and you can send pictures and all this stuff on WhatsApp easier. I mean, I only have these 1% idiots that are mad because they don't want me to, because if I want to charge them $1,000 and they're below a 700 score, that means if you can't get funding, I'm going to have to fix your credit. Or if I'm going to spend my time on your crappy credit, I need paid up front, because I don't want to waste my time on crappy credit if somebody not listening, or a competitor just trying to figure out what I'm doing and how I get all the funding, and they want to just steal my info. So there's a $1,000 retainer up front for less than 700. But I'm going to tell a person what the ratio is about getting funding and how much funding you'll get every single time. So it's all straightforward, except when this 1% of losers call and they're broke, they have no money, and they just want to siphon and look at the negative off everybody on the internet and just think, oh, well, how do I trust you? How do I know you're not a scammer? Well, you should know I'm not a scammer because I've been around longer than everybody. I got more proof than everybody for funding, got more proof than everybody on credit repair, and a normal scammer would not be in your face saying, well, this is my guidelines, this is what works, this is what doesn't, this is the way I am. There would be just general information, kissing your butt, and not saying anything to screen out the retards. And I do everything that a normal scammer would not do. And also, a normal scammer wouldn't say, oh, well, they would be all politically correct and kissing the ass and saying Mr., Mrs. and all that stuff. But I cuss, I act normal, and I tell people what works and what doesn't work. So if you're interested and you want to take your wealth creation to the next level, give me a call at 312-473-4163 or text me at 312-218-8737. Thanks a lot.